Hello and welcome in the WJHL News Channel 11 Digital Center. It is Friday at 3 o'clock p.m., and that means it is time for the weekend events. I'm Casey Marlar, joined by Murray Lee and Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds. Sarah Diamond in the building today, but she'll be taking care of the 4 o'clock news. So no time for us today, gentlemen. Come on. She's actually doing
just the
heavy
guys.
lifting. That's right. She's actually doing the work today while we play. Weather, the big story here coming up throughout the evening, Mark, and really into the weekend. We talk every Friday at 3 o'clock about how we get busier and busier outside. Mother Nature might have something to say for us.
Yeah, we had some. We had showers this morning. I didn't get any, but I think Johnson City. You get some.
Yeah, there's a little bit this morning.
Had some rain this morning. You know, when I had rain last night when I got home, midnight or so, pouring rain.
You know what today reminds me of?
Soaker.
You're from the Midwest.
I am.
Murray's from where? South?
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. Today reminds me of one of those Midwest days after a bad day of thunderstorms. You know how you wake up the next day, the sun's out, beautiful, breezy. That's what it reminds me of.
That's what it is right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now, but it's going to change. We're going to see showers.
Weather coming in
from
every direction.
Hey, take a look at this camera, though, because today we've got beautiful weather right now. Partly cloudy skies. I mean, look at that view. You're looking there from Buffalo Mountain. Everything's quiet. But we do want to point out we do have severe thunderstorm watches just off to our west today. And these are all the way through Kentucky and parts of Middle and West Tennessee. So you can see those coming up here, too. Look at that. They are in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. Already looking at some severe thunderstorm warnings. And the biggest threat for us, if we get some of these stronger storms later tonight and definitely tomorrow, damaging winds. That'd be winds in excess of 60 and some hail. I think our hail parameters increasing a bit for tomorrow. So heads up if you're going to be outdoors, but those are severe thunderstorm watches. And look at the radar. It's already lighting up there in the mountains, also north and northeast of Galax, Virginia, and then back through Kentucky. So we'll see the rain chances increase tonight. Good chance of scattered showers and storms. And how about this as you look at our forecast? I mean, if you want to be outside like Casey does tomorrow, sunscreen. But look at this. We're going to see this showers as we go to the evening. This is right now, scattering of thunderstorms. A little bit overdone, but we're going to take it through time. We'll play that as you go through this sequence. We're looking at a better chance of scattered showers and storms. I don't know if you could hit the space bar on that if it'll play. If not, there you go. So here come the showers and thunderstorms. Look at this tonight. All of us seeing a better chance. And a few of these may become strong for us. That's why we could still see a potential for damaging winds, some hail with these. That moves on out. And then watch what happens as we go through the overnight. Still going to keep showers. Now, tomorrow in the morning, could find shower and thunderstorm activity. And this is a pattern off and on all day long. Look at this by the afternoon. Another line of showers and storms coming in. Some of these may be strong to severe. Biggest potential threat again, damaging winds and hail. As we go through Sunday, we're still going to hold on to that chance of rain. Just amazing. Low pressure, really a dominant feature right through the weekend into early next week. That'll keep us into 70s. But a very unsettled weekend. You will see some intermittent sunshine, not a total washout. So take a look, though, as we give you our forecast for tonight down to 58. We've got that chance of showers and storms. Tomorrow's high temperature, a little bit cooler, all the way up to about 75 degrees. Cloudy skies, 80% rain chance for the morning through the afternoon, any time of the day. I know Casey will be running around those showers. Put your flowers out, right? Yeah, look at our 7-day forecast.
Can I yet?
Casey doing a garden. Look at our 7-day forecast. Scattered showers. Highs upper 60s to near 70. And we're going to keep a chance of rain into the end of next week, too. Kind of a mild week, right on par with the average highs.
Radio silence when you asked if you thought I could guard
just
nothing. Just looked at me like this. Whoever said there was no such thing as a dumb question, asked if I could guard. No, I can't guard.
I know your neighbors always talk.
I don't want to judge.
They do. My front, I got my front yard. Neighbor approved. The backyard, there is the backyard is in critical condition.
It's a backyard full of wildlife.
You know, I didn't get to it last week, and now here we go into the weekend. It's going to rain all weekend, so I'm going to have my hands full there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, prom.
Yeah.
Prom for Eva Diva. So we got, I guess, what I'm told is we've got an indoor picture plan and an outdoor picture plan.
Yeah, you'll probably need that because we are looking at a better chance for afternoon, early evening showers and storms. And they may last through tomorrow night, too. So some of those may be strong. I know meteorologist Jared Sellers will be here. Alex will be here this weekend, too. So they'll both keep you up to date.
All righty. Thanks as always, Mark. All righty, get to it. Storm's coming. All righty. Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds setting the stage with the weather forecast, and going to be a busy one for the Weather Center here throughout the next couple of days with the rain and storm moving in. When we come back, we're going to start running down a list of events. It's Derby weekend. May the 4th be with you, and a whole lot of other events around town. as we set the stage with this Friday's weekend preview. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is the weekend preview on WJHL Plus. Thank you very much for joining us. We do this every Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Run down a list of events and activities for you and your family to take part in over the course of the next couple of days. I'm Casey Marler, normally joined by Sarah Diamond. She's got the 4 o'clock news coming up in less than an hour, so she's tied down with that. Murray Lee, as always, punching the buttons. Murray, thank you very much for getting everything set up. And we're going to start out with a rip-roaring good time tonight in Kingsport. It is the BrewHaHa, the Kingsport BrewHaHa, an annual event, pizza, comedy, drinks, great fundraiser. Still some tickets available. I believe $50 for a ticket gets you in. And this is one of those events that every time you hear folks that go, they just talk about how much fun it is. Craft brewers, pizza, and comedy. You can't beat it.
It is a 21 and up only event. You should note that. So don't bring the kids.
No, I start with family-friendly event and then go straight to the BrewHaHa. It must be a Friday thing. Most events are family-friendly. But yeah, this is a good one. Kingsport Chamber does such a great job with every event they put on. This one, no exception. You can find the details, as I mentioned, right on the top of our weekend events page there on WJHL.com. Here's another event that is going on this weekend. This one outside Thirsty Orange, another 21 and older event. That's tomorrow from 1 to 6. An annual event in Johnson City. That's at Founders Park. Tickets range in the $40 to $60 range. Over 100 craft brewers will be taking part for Thirsty Orange. This has absolutely exploded in popularity in the last 10 years.
Has really gotten to where it's something that people look forward to all year round. People circle it on their calendars. It's gotten to where it's earned a lot of rewards as far as festivals go, and there's a lot of brewers who and a lot of breweries that just plan all year about what they're going to take to the Thirsty Orange. It has gotten wildly popular.
12th annual, been going on over a decade, and this is one of those marriages that really took off at a perfect time. As they launched the festival a dozen years ago, the craft brewing industry in our region exploded with several different craft breweries, home brewers, and they all get together. And certainly there's great pride with the brewers and, where the line's the longest and who's the most popular. But at the same time, the camaraderie as they share ideas, find out what's happened since last year. If you get a chance to make it downtown at Founders Park tomorrow, certainly worth your time. Relatively inexpensive when you talk about the entertainment and the opportunity to taste over 150 craft beers, ciders. There are all kinds of samples there for you. That is the Thirsty Orange 12th annual. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, and they'll have some food trucks out there as well. Yeah, probably a good idea. I don't think anybody needs to be sampling too much beer without on an empty stomach.
No, they've got everything covered for you. And the weather. Anytime you have an event this time of year, and this is when the Thirsty Orange is every year, there's always that chance, but it won't dampen any spirits. So make a plan for that. Tipton Haynes Peddler's Post tomorrow. One of the things that really goes overlooked, Murray, is just the artisans and the craftsmen in our region. We have these kind of artisan events every year, really every weekend, and you can find so many unique gifts, so many ideas. And this is the next opportunity for that. That's tomorrow from 9 to 4.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really cool artists around here. If you go just really like you said, any weekend, there's so many places that they'll sell their crafts at, and we found so many cool things for our house, and this one sounds like a great one. You're gonna have all kinds of local artisans from 9 to 6 tomorrow at Tipton Haynes State Historic Site. So some of the things you can expect to find out there, I know there's normally some leather workers. You normally have some people doing the wood burning. That's one of my favorites to see. People come up with some really cool artwork like that. And they've got all kinds of just very unique, done locally types of crafts that are, you're supporting people who are pursuing their passions here around the area. One of my favorite ones to come across, being a big fisherman, is the people who make their own handmade lures. I love to collect
Yeah.
those. I'm always a little afraid to use them because I'm like, these look so good, and someone spent so much time. But I also know, man, I could nail a big trout with this if I really wanted to. So yeah, absolutely a fun one to get out to. So yeah, tomorrow, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. over at Tipton Haynes.
Kingsport is the place to be for all things Jeep lover. It is the Jeep Country Roads Jeep Classic. It is tomorrow from noon to 5, Cherokee Street parking lot in Kingsport. Folks that love their Jeeps, and they are not afraid to show them off tomorrow. Over 100 expected tomorrow. Registration $25 per vehicle. And that's another group that when they get together, it's going to be a good time,
Oh,
first of all, and showing off their Jeeps, whether they be traditional classics or the brand new, the bells and whistles. And that's going on tomorrow in Kingsport.
yeah, not to mention all the duckies that they're gonna have out
That
there
was,
too.
yeah, right, right. Collecting those ducks for the Jeeps. That's tomorrow afternoon in Kingsport. Also coming up this weekend, a real simple afternoon, 4 to 9 on Marketplace Boulevard is the Ashley Furniture Community Night. Just a chance to come out and celebrate. Food trucks. They'll have giveaways. In fact, a giveaway. Someone will walk away with $10,000 worth of furniture from Ashley Furniture. So that's enough to raise your eyebrows.
Yeah.
And they'll have puppy adoptions, a whole lot of stuff going on. Really just a thank you festival outside of the business there, going on all day tomorrow, from 4 to 9. There, that's kind of over by the Lowe's, the Kohl's, that part of
Yeah,
Johnson City.
we got another one coming up in your neck of the woods, though. Something that I think you're pretty interested in this one, aren't you? A little Derby Day.
Yeah, a little Derby Day
Yeah.
tomorrow, the Kentucky Derby, the Run for the Roses. That's going on tomorrow. That is in Greenville, supporting the Second Harvest Food Bank. That's at the General Morgan Inn. Tickets are $100, and a great fundraiser for Second Harvest Food Bank. Last year, they raised tens of thousands of dollars. It's there on the rooftop, 5 o'clock. That is an hour to an hour and a half before the actual horse race, the Kentucky Derby, there in Louisville, Kentucky. And you can see last year they raised a lot of money for Second Harvest Food Bank. And we talk to the folks at Second Harvest all the time. There's always a need, but certainly as we get into the end of the school year and into the summer, that need becomes even greater because some of those families that depend on the school programs go without those programs. So it's time to replenish financially and with food. And that is a great, fun way to do it. People get all decked out. They put on their beautiful hats and their spring dresses and
get some mint juleps
and mint julep and watch the horse race there. That is.
You already got a horse picked out for this
General Morgan. No, I'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a good
the one
feeling.
time I hit a couple of years ago, and then several months later, they take the race win away from the horse that I had. And
well, you already had your winnings.
I already had my winning. It was long since gone, but it did make me question whether I had to give it back or not. Was that legit? And,
I think it was
the answer is no. No, I did not. So Kentucky Derby.
I've only been to the tracks one time. Me and my wife, we'd gone to Louisville.
Yes,
and we went to Churchill Downs, and we were going to a show later that night, and so we only, we had the whole day in front of us, and we were trying to think like, well, what should we do while we're in Louisville? And we looked and we're like, oh, there's races going on today down at the tracks, and we were like, well, we've never done this. Let's go see what it's about. didn't realize, like the admission is dirt cheap because that's not where they make their
No,
money
they
at.
don't. They need you in the door
Yeah.
before they make their money.
And I was so new to this. I was 22 years old in there, and I was like, well, let's see. I guess I have to pick a winner. Come to find out, no, you don't. You just have to pick a. You can. There's all sorts of ways to bet.
There sure is. They'll find a way.
Yeah, and
Isn't that place awesome?
it was so much fun. I
And
was like, this is dangerous because I'm having way too much
yeah,
fun. And we won enough to pay for drinks that night and help cover a little bit of our dinner. But we were like, yeah, we left, and I was like, thank goodness one of these is not closer because I
right.
would be having a blast.
Plus, when you're there in person, it's really an awesome sight
Oh
to
yeah,
see the horses. I've never been to the Kentucky Derby. I too have been to Churchill Downs. It's such a humongous, beautiful facility.
oh, it's gorgeous.
And 364 days out of the year, it's a popular racetrack, but it's built for tomorrow.
Yeah,
And so there's usually plenty of room. I don't know what your experience was there, but there was plenty of good seats available
yeah, there was a lot
when
of
we were
space.
there.
Plenty of big hats though too. The big hats and the people dressed to the nines. Of course, then you got the pros, the old timers who
Right up against the rail.
they can look at a horse and tell you its speed.
That's
But there was definitely definitely a fun time, and absolutely for Derby Day on Main. Rooftop Garden's a beautiful spot too, over there in Greenville. So should be a very fun time had by all.
yeah, silent auction part of that, hors d'oeuvres, live music, the whole to do as they celebrate and raise money for a great cause. Sunday, it is Sunday, right? Is
Yep.
a special day. This day's kind of taken on popularity
It has
in the last decade or so, 20 years. May the 4th, and may the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. Plenty of activities to celebrate this fun semi-holiday, I guess. And this is Jonesboro, where they have an event coming up on Sunday from 1 to 5, a Star Wars themed treats. They have films playing at the Jackson Theater, food trucks, and this is my favorite, Jedi training course to get you ready to be a Jedi Knight. So Jonesboro,
I went through one of those as a kid.
did you really?
Yeah, we went to my family went to Disney World during one of the special anniversaries, and they just picked kids out of the crowd in the Star Wars area of Hollywood Studios. It was MGM back then, but yeah, so I got to go up there. They gave me a robe and a little lightsaber, showed me some moves, and then Darth Maul and Darth Vader came out, and all the kids had a chance to duel them. And it was pretty awesome.
What an awesome memory that
Yeah.
must have been. Yeah, that's one of many events. That one's the Jonesboro event. Also, a movie night going on at Kiwanis Park in Elizabeth, and that is Sunday at 6 p.m. You can find more information on our website, WJHL.com, and then also the 4K and Darth Dash going on this weekend as well. That's Sunday at King Commons Park in Johnson City. That is at 6:30. The 4K begins at 7. I never really got into the Star Wars per se throughout time, but I will boast that I'm one of the few people in the newsroom that was in line to watch the original Star Wars
Oh, really?
on the opening weekend.
That's pretty cool,
And
actually.
yeah, Indian Hills Theater, and it was my family, my grandparents, my parents, and it was a big deal. And
I can
so
imagine.
we saw it in the theater.
So
Yeah.
were you so you just weren't impressed by it? It wasn't
You
really
know,
your cup of
at
tea?
the time it was. I mean, it was the talk of the town. I mean, I had the Battlestar. I had the all the trinkets and all the toys. But then, and at the time, it was a movie. You watch the movie. It wasn't until they start, you know, coming back to back, and certainly the last 20 years, even more so, that it became this long-standing 50-year tradition.
Oh
And
yeah.
so,
No, it's probably just about the biggest I would say it's about probably the biggest fan base. I don't know. There's some big ones. You got like trying to think of other fan bases that could compete in size and notoriety.
I don't know, over generations, over 5 decades now. We're coming up on the
Yeah.
50th anniversary
Yeah,
I want to say it was
it's got some
77,
longevity.
78 that the first one came out. And I think over time, I think I speak for a lot of folks. Help me out here. After a while, if you can't just hop in the middle of this ride, okay? That train's been going down. You don't just decide like I'm going to go check it out because everybody in the theater,
Well, when I was
is
a kid, the prequels were
locked in.
coming out, so I just had to go watch, the 3 movies that the 3 originals, and then I was caught up and could watch the ones that came out when I was a kid. Yeah, nowadays though, they got a ton of shows. I mean, if you get on Disney Plus, it's like a quarter of the whole app and everything they offer there is Star Wars now. So there's a lot more. I could see it being a lot more daunting
See,
nowadays.
and even I couldn't even wrap my brain around the prequels. So quite a bit over my head, but it is a huge thing, and this weekend is a great celebration of
Absolutely.
all things Star Wars over the last 5 decades. So that's a list of some of the events going on this weekend, and feel free to pick your favorite out. You can find them all here on our website, WJHL.com. We mentioned the Thirsty Orange. We've got the BrewHaHa tonight. That Jeep show in downtown Kingsport is going to be big. Derby Day on Main is a great fundraiser, and the 4th of July, or 4th of July, May the 4th be with you. Don't take away my summer.
Yeah, we
And
can't hurry up to 4th of July. We got stuff to do between now and then.
we got a lot to do.
Yeah.
You're going to pick up there. So thank you as always for putting everything together. What's on your agenda this weekend? Anything exciting?
I got manual labor on my agenda this
Okay,
weekend.
one of those
I might
weekends.
try to swing by Thirsty Orange though. I might try to take some time. I know that might need to get some at the door tickets, but I'm a big fan of beer festivals like that, like Racks by the Tracks coming up later this month, I think, in Kingsport, Thirsty Orange, Hoppy Possum, all those. But yeah, I got a little project, working out of the garage and on the deck that I've been using every power tool and extension cord at my disposal for. So I'll be keeping busy. So you got prom, right?
We got prom.
This
Yeah.
second round, or I guess
This
technically fourth, right?
this is the fourth, our final. The important fact is this is the final prom for Eva, and so looking forward to that. I know she's excited. I'm not really privy to the overall plan, as you would imagine.
Oh,
No
really?
surprises there,
You weren't
but I will
consulted for
be
that?
there. I will be there where I'm told, when I'm told, doing what I'm told tomorrow as we get her ready for her final prom. And then a derby party tomorrow. Not going to make it out to Greenville, but we get together with some friends and celebrate and have a big time. So that's tomorrow night as well. So yeah, the good news is it is definitely spring. And then we've got softball. We're hanging on. The tournaments start tonight. And so we had senior day earlier this week, and so that was exciting. And you start to realize that time is running out. I've been chasing our kids around ball games now for 20 years, and those days are numbered. And now that you're in the playoffs, it can just end like that. So that's something that we prepare for here in the Marlar household as well. So we should. We should be okay here for a few days, and then
Yeah. Before all the
it's-
emotions start
yeah,
hitting.
one of my biggest issues is I'm always looking at the big picture, Murray. Yeah, we're okay, and everybody says you're okay, but I'm looking at this whole statewide bracket, and I say, yeah, but look who's there, and look who's there, and like.
You gotta just tackle what's in front of you first.
I know, boy. If I could do that, I'd be a lot better off. That's never really been my style. Never really been my style.
So that's just for every viewer. Casey's thinking about the 11 o'clock news from the second he walks in the door.
Yeah,
Forget the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. He's just already, yeah.
looking
What
at
are we
all of
gonna
them
do?
together. I read the last page of the book first. That's me. I want to know where we're going. Isn't that how you look
What?
at a map? Don't you find out where you're going and then where you're at? You figure out the best way to
You
get there.
must be a joy with instruction manuals.
I noticed you haven't been calling me to help with those projects. So for good reason. Well, hey, have a good weekend, whatever's on your agenda.
Absolutely.
Thanks as always to Emily Hibbets for putting this together on Friday mornings. You can see this from really first light on Friday through the weekend. Murray, thanks for producing and putting everything together. Sarah and I will be back here next Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern time as we preview all the events happening in and around the Appalachian Highlands. Thank you very much for joining us here on WJHL Plus. We'll see you next Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.